Hey there, gamers, I'm Probably Senpai, and I have a very exciting video prepared for you today. My first ever full valley tour. Now, I've uploaded biome tours and some builds in the past, but I didn't want to upload a full valley tour until I felt truly satisfied with all of my biomes. Now, for the first time, I feel like I'm ready to provide a full tour for everyone here at YouTube. That said, this does not mean my valley is complete. On the contrary, I don't believe my valley will ever be truly finished, and that's one of the many things I love about Disney Dreamlight Valley. With new features, decor, and villagers making their way into Dreamlight Valley over time, I believe my valley will continue to evolve and adapt, along with the game itself. So today, we'll be exploring what I've put together thus far and the overall beauty found in this stunning and diverse life sim known as Disney Dreamlight Valley. Before we get started, I'd like to mention that I am a small full-time content creator, so pressing the like button on this video can make a huge difference for me. Also, consider subscribing for more Disney Dreamlight Valley and gaming content. And with that, let's get started. Hey there, gamers. Today we are finally diving into the full valley tour, and we're going to get things started off with the plaza. We'll be starting on the left-hand side of the plaza, and we'll just work our way through the whole biome. Now, one of the first things I'm sure you've noticed is going to be this Zen garden, and I have the whole thing lined with the green bamboo fence. We have the bordered natural stony path here, and I use the new cherry blossom trees. I absolutely love these new trees. They are so beautiful. Aside from that, there's a lot of different flora. There's the old temple ruins we have here, and even some functionality, like I can come in here and cook if I don't want to go inside my house. So I really like having this stove here. Anyway, we're going to just make our way out here, and you're going to see my house here, right in between two Dreamlight trees. There are actually 4 Dreamlight trees in this biome overall. I have every single one of them here, but they are all placed with perfect symmetry. On the topic of symmetry, there's actually a lot of symmetry in this biome, mostly because out of all the biomes we have, this one is one of the most symmetrical. So if you look here on both sides, we have the elegant clock tower, we have the wells of souls, we have loads of flower beds. Now, where it gets different is, of course, this left side has the Zen garden here, and the right side has all of our shopping and dining, and also Merlin's house. His house just really fit the theme, to be honest. The gold, the white, the blue, it's all very heavily used here. And if we come back behind Merlin's house, I have a little flower bed here. I do this in all of my biomes. It just makes it way easier to find those dried flowers and get those memories. Now, over here, we have Scrooge's shop. There's some lighting here. You see the blue street lights, the yellow ones there, some more of the celestial banners. And then back here, we have Kristoff's stall tucked away. I just like all my shopping to be in one place. And then, as promised, the other 2 Dreamlight fruit trees. Now, right past these Dreamlight fruit trees, you're going to find a little bit of alfresco dining, some outdoor dining here, right in front of Remy's restaurant. We have some picnic tables on this side and some white tabletops here with some little candles on them. I thought that was cute. Making our way back into the center here. That pretty much wraps up most of what's in the plaza, except for a couple of other little things. Now, I only need to show you one of them because they're the same on both sides. And as you can see right in front of me there, over there, there is a resting bench. We'll go over to this side because I think the view is a little bit better here. Right here, we have a resting spot right next to the elegant clock tower, and it overlooks the Peaceful Meadow. The Peaceful Meadow that you're looking down on is actually my dream garden. So now that you've seen all the little features here in the plaza, let's head on down into the Peaceful Meadow. We're just going to run right along this central path, and this central path actually runs all the way down to Dazzle Beach. You can see Ariel's palace in the distance. I love that look. Just when you look down the path one way and you see Ariel's palace out in the sea, but when you look the other way, you see the Dreamlight Castle. I just think it's really cool to have, like, no matter which way you're going, you're going to be centered with some kind of elegant castle. Let's focus on the other features here in this biome, and we'll start with the fencing. There is a lot of the iron spike and brick fence. In fact, it's close to 400 pieces, which comes out to 800 iron ingots and 1,200 bricks. There was a lot of digging and a lot of mining involved to get all of this out of the way. Now, as far as the pathing goes, we have the Gem and Opal Road down here at my feet. We have the bordered brick pathing here that goes around the entire perimeter of the whole biome. So you can just like run around this outer path. It's going to go all the way around, and both sides too, left and right. And on the interior of the garden, I'm sure you guys have already noticed, we have a lot of the bordered leaf-strewn path, and that leaf-strewn path kind of weaves throughout the whole build. So let's go into the right-hand side here first. If we follow this bordered leaf-strewn path, we run into Wally's garden. We run into a wide variety of crops. You'll also notice some little resting benches over there. And if we come down here, you'll find the only crop I really bother picking. Most of the crops here, to be honest, are just for looks. I do pick the pumpkins because I like the star coins, but that's about it. I don't really bother picking anything else here. I love leaving Wally's garden alone. Sure, you can get free crops every day out of it, but I feel like I have enough and I just love the way it looks. So I leave it alone. And if we come back here, we'll find another one of the ponds. I do use these pillars a lot here. I love the thorns growing on them. They just fit the garden theme very well. Now back here, all surrounded by trellis, you're gonna find my orchard? I feel like I never say that right. We'll call it the fruit zone. So we have the big old fruit zone here. And on the far right-hand side, of course, you can still access your mining rocks. I do a lot of mining, and the plaza and the meadow are really good for stone. So I definitely want to make sure I can still access those mining rocks. Now, I feel like we've explored this whole side of the meadow very thoroughly. So we'll just go explore the other side at this point. We're going to head on over to the left side of the meadow. And the first thing you'll run into is going to be our wishing well. Now, I used a lot of the pillars here and a lot of trellis. I love to dress up the wells. The wells are just really beautiful items, and it's going to be the first thing you see when you fast travel into the biome. So I always like to make it nice and presentable. And moving on down here, let's touch on this wheat too. The reason I have wheat on both sides of the central path is because that golden look just looks so good with the dark brown of the darkwood fence and the trellis. I just love the gold of the wheat meshed up with the gold of the celestial banners and the brown of the trellis. I think it looks great. Now, anyway, we're going to move right on down here, and you'll find a lot more pumpkins. You're going to find some sugar cane, and then into the trellis arch here, you're going to find the other version of the elegant gazebo. Now, there's the elegant gazebo we can craft, and then this is the one we got from Fairy Godmother. I think it's called the Fairy Tale Gazebo, but I love this one for the garden because it is completely overgrown with vines and flowers, and I just think it looks awesome in this biome. On the right-hand side of this little workshop area, you're going to find my crafting table and some storage. I have like crates and a hay bale. I just felt like that fit. And then over here on the left-hand side, it's pretty similar. We have the universal storage, and then we have Goofy stall and a few more hay bales. Now, on the outer perimeter, I'm sure you've noticed, we have a whole lot of that green bamboo fencing. Now, that took a tremendous amount of fiber to make. I think per post, it's like 5 fiber. So luckily for me, I had been saving up fiber for a really long time, and I didn't really need it for anything else. So I just went crazy with the green bamboo fencing around the edge there. But it ended up looking great, and I was really happy with it. Now, I think the only thing we didn't really cover here is if we go on to the left-hand side here, we have this there's like a little stall here. There's a little bit more opening for some mining spots. And of course, I just can't get enough of the Well of Souls. I love them. I tend to drop them all over the place. So we have those just chilling right here. All right. And now that we've wrapped up things in the Peaceful Meadow, it's time to head into Dazzle Beach. Now, I know I've been showing you guys the biomes at day, but for this one, we're just going to show it at dusk, and that's it. That way you can see it when it's still bright out, but the lights will also be shining, and I just love to show the beach this way because there are so many bioluminescent plants, and they look wonderful when they are activated. Now, first, you're probably going to notice that, there's not traditional pathing here. This isn't like the usual bordered path or brick road or natural stony path. What we're using here is actually the stone clusters. And the reason I did this is I wanted to have a very lush and overgrown beach, but I didn't want it to feel like it had been, developed. I didn't want it to feel overly developed. I mean, of course, there's houses here and there's a little bridge and a pier, but I wanted it to come off as a very lush, magical, lively beach that was still very, very much in tune with nature. And that's kind of the overall vibe that we went for here. So as we head across this little bridge, one of the first things you're going to notice, of course, is Moana's house and the brand new premium house skin, which is the new beach house. By the way, love the fact that the lights coming from the beach house are that light sky blue at nighttime. So it just looks so nice. So many of the houses put off like a yellow light, and that blue light looks so great. So if we follow our little path over here, first we're going to come to our little fish market. And if we come down here, you're going to find Goofy's stall. There's going to be some storage here. We have Moana's fishing boat right next to her house, of course. And then across the way here, we have Eric's castle. I've been wanting to put Eric's castle here like since I got Eric. I put him in the plateau for a while. I think a lot of people did that, but this castle is just the perfect size for this little island, but we could not move that pillar until the end of update 5. So finally we were able to move the pillar and I could finally put his house here. I love the castle being on this island. I think it looks great. Skull Rock is back there. And then we also have Prince Eric's ship right here on the left-hand side, right by his castle. I have some really exciting stuff playing with that ship in the future. I'll do a video on it whenever we get a chance. Now, let's go back to our main path here, and we'll kind of check out the area around the beach house. So first, you can notice, we have these two like arching palm trees that are both going in opposite directions. I just think that looks like so cool in front of the beach house. We have like a little beach chair chilling on the lawn here. And then if we come down here and we go behind the beach house, we have the aerial crafting station. We have some surfboards. There's like, some little beach towels and umbrellas here. Just like a, fun little beach scene. And there's even a little beach banquet here. So a nice little backyard. Whoever ends up living in that house has some prime real estate. One of the reasons I wanted to have it where it is this little dock here with the surfboards. I really wanted that to be like right on the water. I tried putting it out a little bit further, but then I couldn't put stuff too close to the edge. Like I couldn't have the rock path lead up to it properly. So I just opted to put it a little bit more to the left, which I ended up liking anyway. Anyway, let's make a move down here, and real quick, I'll show you where I have Maui's house. Maui is tucked away over here next to Skull Rock. The sand on his little island doesn't match the sand on the shore, so I don't like to put him right on the shore. And if you ever set your villagers' houses offshore or somewhere where you can't reach, if you talk to those villagers, you can say, hey, let's go to your house. Or you can simply enter furniture mode and pull the house to the shore and go inside if you want to. Anyway, let's go back to the main path here, and we're going to continue moving down. Another thing I want to talk about real quick before we move too far forward are the flowers. Most of my biomes have a flower bed, and that's because I just want to be able to easily find and discover the dry flowers so I can recover the memories. However, for this particular biome, like I said, I didn't want it to be hyper developed, so I like having the flowers scattered throughout the main path, like they're just like kind of growing throughout it. Matter of fact, along this stone path there are a lot of different plants, and there's these little anemones, there's these glowing corals, there's these little like tiny looking fern things, there's the snake plant. There are all kinds of little plants sprouting up here along this path, and that's just one thing that I think makes it look a lot more natural. Now, of course, to the right here, you're going to notice the bestest boy's house. We have Stitch's house right here. Stitch is the absolute best. If you don't love Stitch, I'm sorry. I feel bad. I don't know who hurt you, but I hope it gets better. And then over here, we have some surfboards by Stitch's house because my man likes to shred. And then we have this big old glowing clam because why not? And lastly, before we move out of this biome, we're going to look at the wishing well. Now, for the wishing well in this biome, like I said when we were in the meadow, I really love to dress up the wells. I really love to make them very magical and presentable. And this is one of my favorite wishing well areas, mostly because I have several of the pillars from the game in here. You have 5 pillars here. So if we walk on down here, we have, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and then 1 perfectly centered with the well itself. Also, once again, just like we did with the beach house, we have the arching palm trees. These ones are arching towards the well. And, I just love these arching palm trees. They are so fun to play around with. And this whole area is just very, very magical. I love, love, love this wishing well spot. With that, let's go ahead and run back to, let's go to the Glade. We're gonna go straight to the Glade. Now, for the Glade tour, I'm actually going to do this one at night, and I'll show you the whole place at night because I think that's where this biome truly shines, at least in the sense that I built it up. All right, so making our way into the Glade, one thing you're bound to pick up on is that this biome actually does not have bordered paths, and I could easily replace this muddy pathing with the bordered pathing, but I did not. I decided not to. This one, I want it to feel very overgrown and almost evil swamp in a way. The only two people that live here right now are going to be Ursula and Mother Gothel, of course, because her house never moves. But I have a lot of the thorns, and we have a lot of different flora in here. We have some bushes, we have these little resting logs, we have some small trees, we have some scraggly bushes, and we have these big root arches. I love the root arches here. I actually use them throughout the path a lot. One of the things I like about them is you can just run right under them. And I use the purple street lights on the opposite side of the root arches because if you look as you approach it, look at the glow coming from behind it. It is so fun to play with the lighting this way. So I just really like doing that. I didn't want to put a lot of street lights in this build, but you know, I did kind of play with those. And there's another area we're going to look at that has a few more street lights. I actually have a graveyard here in this biome, but we'll check that out a little bit later. Now, all around these areas, I hid little, you know, tall torches and tiki torches in here along with all of the plants and thick vegetation. And I did that because at night, it just makes it feel a little bit more magical. So as you're walking by and you're picking up on all of the texture and detail back here with all of the different vegetation, you're also going to see some warm light popping through from those torches. Now on the right-hand side here, you're going to notice that the waterways here are filled up to the brim with reeds and glowing lily pads. Another thing I wanted to make very, very lively. Across the little stone bridge here, oh, well, you're not supposed to be here. Let's get rid of you. All right, so we have Ursula's house, of course. Now I have the little Ursula throne on both sides because I just like, it looks like, if you look at it from this angle, it looks like the little eels are just like waiting for you, you know? They're just like coiled up and ready to strike. It looks so cool. And if we zoom out a little bit, I'll show you the area around Ursula's house. I'm using so many of the lily pads around her house because her house already has that like pink glow coming out of it. So I wanted to use a lot of the lily pads around it just to brighten it up even more. We have more of the thorny pillars here just to kind of, you know, elevate that evil look. And if we walk away with the camera angle pointed upward, one thing I really like about this spot is you can see the Forgotten Mountain right behind Ursula's house, and the aura, the purple aura is like coming out of it, and it looks really fun with the pink lanterns here as well. And yeah, you know, it's just a really fun little spot. So next up, we're going to move right on down this way, and this is one of my favorite features of the entire biome. And it's so simple. This is such a simple little thing to do, but I have loved this since I put it together a little while back. If you look at these two swamp trees, it's almost like they're arching away from the well itself, like the well's like positive magic is like pushing away the dark trees. I just really like that vibe. It just has this really cool effect where, you know, the trees are just like bubbling out around the wishing well. And then behind that, we also have the ballroom candles, which are absolutely beautiful, especially at night, the way they shine through. They make this whole area look even more magical. And I really appreciate these new items we got from the Remembering update from Fairy Godmother. I love these little lanterns, and I love the sparkling effect that they give off. You know, if we turn them off, you know, it just, this whole area just kind of dies out a little bit, but when you turn these back on, it just gives it a lot of magic. And with that, we're going to keep on making our way down. Of course, on the left, you see more vegetation, more thorns, a little bit of everything here. And coming down here, we're going to see our flower bed. So as I mentioned, I have a lot of these flower beds, and this is yet another one. This one's really fun and cute. I love having the bushes on both sides and then having the little logs here and the little flower pots and flower boxes kind of scattered about. It just looks like somebody's tending to it, and there should be somebody tending to it because it's right across from the graveyard. So down here we have our valley graveyard. Thank goodness I was playing back when the first, the second Star Path came out, the first Halloween Star Path. Because if I wasn't playing, I would not have been able to make Eric's grave. And I'm really happy I have a grave for Eric because, you know, me and him just don't get along. You may see somebody resembling Eric walking around my valley, but that's actually 12 blobfish in an Eric suit. I could go into more detail, but if you want to know more, just come by my Twitch channel sometime and talk to me. I'll explain it to you. Anyway, let's keep on moving by. Here's a cart that's used to move things like deceased Erics. And over here, the graveyard continues. We have a couple more of the Well of Souls here, and we even have this gargoyle throne right in the center of the graveyard. Now, whereas a lot of the other lights in this biome are either natural fire or purple, I made sure that all the lighting around the graveyard was green. I just wanted to give it a different lighting scheme altogether, and I also wanted it to match that Well of Souls. So we went with a lot of green street lights and even more of the thorny pillars. Like I said, I love to abuse those things. Now we're going to come full circle, and we're going to be back on the main area where we entered. So we're going to walk down here. The only part of this biome we haven't really been in yet is going to be Mother Gothel's little zone. So right across the bridge here. And here is the entrance to Mother Gothel's house. I even made her a little black magic altar here. So we have a big old cauldron. The game doesn't have any goats for me to sacrifice, so I just put a Yule goat here. Figured that would work. There's a burlap sack here. Don't ask what's in it. And there's even like a little grinder and mortar here for her to like make potions with or whatever she wants to do. We have the tall candles here, or the ballroom candles, and then more of the purple lights. This is also the only spot in the glade where you're going to find an abundance of purple plants. I made sure to go like really heavy on the purple plants around this area just because I wanted it to, just kind of insinuate that there was a lot of dark magic here, and that's kind of the vibe that I was going for. They're just exclusive to this area. But yeah, there you have it. That's the Glade of Trust. Now, the next biome we're going to be heading into, I believe, should be the Forest of Valor. Now, as we head towards the Forest of Valor, I do want to warn you a little bit. It's not really a forest anymore. It's not very foresty, to be honest. It's definitely kind of a paved paradise, put up a parking lot situation. So since the plaza here is like my town square and it has all of our shopping and all of our restaurants, the Forest of Valor was what I wanted to be my residential area. So here we are. Now, before we give you the full tour of the Forest of Valor, I'm just going to go ahead and change the time here. We're going to go back to like a sunset type deal. Yeah, there we go. That should be good. So in the Forest of Valor, the first thing you're going to notice is going to be this big old fountain, the gold fountain that you can make. It serves as a big centerpiece, and it is right in front of Mini Casita. So if we come down here, we'll find Mini Casita, the biggest house in the entire village. And on the left-hand side of Mini Casita, we have this wonderful swimming pool with its own like little jet fountains coming out of it. And we have elegant gazebos on both sides. We have some picnic tables on both sides. And if we come down here, we're going to find the Adventure is Out There balloon basket from the Up series collection. That was part of the very first Star Path they ever released. And we also have a row of trellis. Now, hopping back on the main path again, and I'm sure now that I've come from this direction, you've noticed that's where my theme park is, but we'll check that out after we tour the rest of the village here. So we have, some little topiaries here. We have some picnic tables before you wander into the theme park. And here we have Minnie's house. I used a lot of the pink flowers. Minnie loves the pink vibe, and she loves flowers, so we have a lot of them scattered here. And if we come to the other side, we have Mickey's house. So Mickey's very popular. He's a big celebrity, so of course for Mickey's house, we had to have some benches for people to wait, just in case he was too busy to see them. And then also up there above me, you can see Mickey's water tower. When you look at it in the crafting menu, it has these little yellow lights around the top, but it doesn't have lights when you craft it, which is kind of a bummer because it was 100 iron. So I hope they adjust that later. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. Anyway, it's good enough for now. So we're going to continue down the main path here. The raccoons, they kind of just run around because I've completely deforested the area, so now they've just become city raccoons. It is what it is. Over here, we have Goofy's house. He's got a little bit of a smaller property than the others, but, he runs his stall, and he gives me way too many star coins for pumpkins, so I don't think he really knows how to manage money that well. So, he's lucky to have any real estate at all. Coming down this way, we have this biomes native flower bed. So, like I said before, I love to have these little flower beds scattered throughout because it just makes it very easy to find and discover those dried flowers. And this is one of my favorite house builds right here. This is Wally's house. And Wally's house is actually a construction site. It is attached to what we call the entertainment district. We have this outdoor stage here. This is where concerts and venues are going to be. And we're actually working on building an indoor venue as well. We want an indoor venue in case it rains, but it's going to be under construction for a while, as you can see, and Wally's big old construction equipment looking house is here to help assist with the project. So I did this little Wally construction house build. I know a lot of people have struggled with what exactly to do with Wally's house. So if you want a tutorial on this build and you want to do something similar, let me know in the comments below, and I will add that at a future point. So anyway, we have two of the topiaries here, and we have a rustic clock tower over there, and then back on this side, right across from the concert venue, we have the village's hotel. So this is Mike and Sully's apartment, another one of the premium houses, but I'm planning on making this a hotel. I haven't done the inside of it yet. I just recently got it. I've been more focused on finishing my valley so I could do the valley tour, or at least getting my valley to a good point. Also, Buzz can't really afford to stay in the hotel, so he's just camping out in his RV, so that's that. We got a little bit of shopping here, and yeah, so there is Goofy's stall. And then up there, you're going to see Frosted Heights, but we're not ready for that yet. We're going to go into the theme park first. And I want to enter from this angle because this is the grand entrance here. So as you approach, you can see some blue lights on the side there. And I have these wonderful fountain tiles. I love these so much. The fountain tiles are just one of my favorite items in the game, and they make this entrance like really pop. I think it looks amazing. And we have the alternating pillars, and in between each pillar, we have more of the fountain tiles. Now, with the pathing in this biome, we are actually using a combination of gold in Opal Road and gem in Opal Road. And that's how I'm able to have these like little winding paths, but also have a similar path right next to it. So we have all the rides in the game here in this one little biome. We have, of course, Woody's house here. We had to put Woody's house here because it is a ride after all. The carousel should definitely be in the theme park. And then over here, we have the little Dumbo ride. For the teacup ride, I had to put it like right up against Elsa's ice cave, so I decided to make it ice themed by putting the icy pillars here. Also, it has kind of a teal color on the base, so I figured it would work. I thought it looked pretty fun as that. So over here, we have a little nature area. We have a little water fountain. There's some recycling bins because you don't want to litter in the only part of the forest that remains. And then, of course, we have some fishing, and we decorated the little pond here as well. Now, moving over to one of my favorite features of the theme park here is the Candyland area, which I'll discuss in just a second. First, let's discuss the little shopping part of the theme park. We have the Disney shopping cart here, and then we have a lot of Disney and Pixar, I guess, memorabilia. So we have Lightning McQueen, we have the Piston Cup, we have this little motorcycle here, we have one of the Incredible suits, we have Buzz's Space Ranger outfit. So this little area is just like memorabilia and some cool stuff that you would likely see in a theme park. And over here, we are in the Candyland area. Vanellope's house, huh? Now that was big. I was thinking it was gonna like fit in this area, but I actually had to expand the whole area. You'll notice I do have these candy tables here. These are custom. I made them with the touch of magic because originally this whole candy area was designed for the Sweet House, and the Sweet House is actually a bakery. So within the theme park, this serves as the local restaurant. You have all kinds of sweets and ice cream, and then behind me there, that's Sympafina, the wonderful hostess. So yeah, when I got the Sweet House, I knew I wanted to make it into a bakery. I even made a YouTube video about this. You can find it on my channel. I'll put it in the video description down below if you want to see how I did this build. So anyway, yeah, that's the Sweet House. Let's move back outside. All right, and hopefully that explains why there are so many sweets all over the place here, and you have all these cakes baked and like ice cream, just all this stuff laid about. Also with Vanellope's house, it looks so great here. I love how the gumdrops like glow at night. Her house ended up turning out so beautiful. I think it looks amazing. And we also have her little race car here, and we even threw up some of the cherry blossom trees. They just fit with the pink color. They look wonderful here. All right, so now that we have completely worked through the Forest of Valor biome, we're going to head back on into Frosted Heights, and we're going to get that mint right there. Now, on the left-hand side here, you're going to notice we have these two rest areas. They're actually on both sides. So I have these L benches, and they just wrap all the way around these fountains. So two little resting areas here, and in between the two of them, we have this fountain. I wish we could buy more of these from Scrooge. That would be so cool if we can get another one of these. I love this fountain. I love that it's got the flame on top of it, but I figured with the flame, it would just kind of fit in this biome, you know, because you're going to need a little bit of extra warmth in the Frosted Heights. So that's why we have that one there. We have the premium shop frozen fountains here, which I think look amazing, and we have some of the little snow clouds back here as well. Now over here we have Anna and Kristoff's home here. I guess Olaf lives there too now. You know, he just like made himself at home. So yeah, we have their home here. We have these fountains behind them as well, and we also have more of the fountain tiles down here along the base. Now if we come along this way, you know, it's matching on this side, same exact build, but we're gonna get that mint out of there at least. And if we come over here, you'll notice there's a little rock path that leads to the other side, but we're going to take the long way around for now. So we have some shopping here. We have Goofy's stall. There's some storage. There's a little shopping stall here. And coming over here, we have some more of the frozen fountains. There's some dried bushes, and we have another sled. Most of the pathing I've used in this biome is like all the snow and brick pathing. I've used so much of it here, but I mean, it fits, you know, it's made for a snowy biome. There's really nowhere else you can use this snowy pathing. I mean, actually, you could do whatever you want. So, you know, I mean, you could. Anyway, we have this little rest area here, and to stay warm, we have these little guys here, and that's, you know, just a lot of options to keep you warm while you're in Frosted Heights. We have another one of the little snowy clouds back there. I love those. They're just so great. You know, great gift from Olaf there. Here, going down the main path, we have more of these beautiful little lanterns that we got from Fairy Godmother. And then over here, we have the Biomes local well. And as always, I love dressing up the wells. This one is so fun with the two arching frozen fountains behind it. I love the fact that they're kind of coming in from different angles, just like we did with the palm trees in the beach biome. Now, before we look at my cottage, let's look over here. And all around this frozen lake, aligning its whole perimeter, you have these tall blue torches. It's pretty much to let you know, hey, you're on ice, hopefully not thin ice. So they go around the whole perimeter of the frozen lake here. And right in the opening of the lake where we have a little bit of water, the snow people are just having the time of their lives. You know, this one's got some sunscreen here. You know, hopefully he doesn't get snowburn. Get it? Like sunburn, but he's snow, and you know what? Never mind. I'm working on it. So yeah, they're having a little party. They got some coolers out here. They're having a great time. You know, they're chilling by the igloo. They got the towels and the umbrellas, so they don't get too much sun. After all, they are snow people. Now, coming over here, we have the Biomes premium house, which is the cottage. Now, I haven't really done anything with the inside of the cottage yet. I definitely plan on it. Like I said, I've been super busy decorating the outside of my biome. This biome, unlike others, doesn't have a flower bed. Instead, I just line the flowers along this path. So it still makes sure that they're really easy to find as far as the dry flowers go. I'm going to know exactly where they are. We have a cute little dining spot right here. And we have the snowy cloud above, keeping the food nice and chilled for us. And it's mostly like cold food. Like we have sorbet, we have some ice cream, we have a cake, and then we have like a Yule log. We have some coconut ice cream. So I did that on purpose. You know, the table is frozen. There's snow coming down. I wanted to make sure that it was like frozen food. Otherwise, your food's going to get cold and it's not going to be very good. And now we are going to journey to the Sunlit Plateau. So we're just going to hop on our gliding ability. Thank goodness for the new update. Walking into the Sunlit Plateau. This biome is going to be very similar to what we did in the Glade of Trust. There's not going to be bordered pathing or fencing. There are these hanging lanterns, but for the most part, this is another nature build. So that means you're going to see a lot of flora, and you're going to see, oh, of course, a beautiful flower bed here right at the entrance. And I'm going to show you one of my favorite places in the entire valley, not just this biome, but the entire valley. And there is a really good reason why this is one of my favorite places in the entire valley. If we go over here and we go to the left, we're going to find my favorite rest area. And this portion of the Sunlit Plateau just perfectly looks over your meadow and plaza. It is such a view. So if you haven't played around with this, I highly recommend doing so. So in this corner of the plateau, if you make yourself a little rest area, feel free to steal this idea or, you know, just change it up. But, you know, if you want a little rest area, this is one of the coolest places to have one. If I'm streaming and I want to just sit back and chat with my friends when they're in the stream, I will come over here and I will just stare over into the horizon, watch the sunset, and talk to chat, because this is one of the most beautiful places in the entire valley, and I love it here. I just love this spot. Anyway, now that we've checked that out, you're going to notice the path does not go back further that way. We're going to have to take another way around. Just like in the Glade, there are a lot of little hidden tiki torches and tall torches back there that are giving off a warm glow in the forested area. You know, only you can prevent forest fires, but also so can Disney magic. Anyway, we're going to come right on down this way, and you'll notice we have these beautiful yellow lanterns that are lining our way all the way to Pride Rock. Now, we're not going to go to Pride Rock just yet. We're not going to go this way either. We'll come back that way. We're going to go over here and check out the well for this area. So, as always, you know, I've said this 1,000 times, I love to make my wells fancy. So I had to do this with the trellis and the waterfalls. I love the way this well looks. And we even have the little leaf-strewn rug under it. So we have some like leaves for texture there. So I just love the way that looks. And yeah, there's so much going on here with like the thorns and the bushes and the ferns. And then over here, you have this little rocky cluster path, kind of like we had on the beach, that leads you into the mines. Now, back over this way, we're going to keep on heading down. We're going to go over our little bridge here. As you can see, we're now heading into the Pride Rock area. So if we go down this way, welcome to Pride Rock. There's a lot of lush greenery here, and you can see some waterfalls in the background. We got some torches lining your way to the entrance, and also we have the same little rock clusters to guide your way in. Now, if we follow the path further, of course, this way goes into the Forgotten Lands. We're not ready for that yet. And if we come back this way, we can hit our mining rocks. And this is like a very small little pathway that goes back into here, and it's very overgrown. And you may be wondering, what's with this big wall right here? What is all that? Well, that is the other path that we did not take earlier. It takes you to a very special place in my Sunlit Plateau, something I am super proud of, and coincidentally, something that likes to make the frames drop like crazy on my PC because I went a little bit too insane with it. So yeah, just about crashed my PC trying to make this build, but it's fine. Anyway, we're gonna come just run right on down here. Now this time we will be going this way. There's the flower bed that we saw earlier just from this side. And if we walk right on down here, we're gonna find Goofy's stall. And there's some sunbirds. Hello, hello. We got plenty of plants. And yes, look back here, you guys. This is the hidden oasis of the Sunlit Plateau. This was such a fun thing to put together. It took me so much time to get it to look just right. So if we follow the path back here, these waterfalls wrap around this whole area. And also you have the pond right here in the center, which it looks like that's what all the water is like feeding into. So I kind of had to have the waterfalls enclose it completely. If I didn't, it would be like, you know, you'd just be like, where's all the water going? That doesn't make sense. So now it looks like there's an area for them to go to. Unlike the rest of this biome, we have completely different flora here. So the rest of the biome has a lot of the native Sunlit Plateau trees, but this part of the biome is mostly palm trees. And there are Sunlit Plateau palms, and I do have them in here as well. And to give you the full understanding of how big this oasis is, I'm going to zoom out here for you and kind of let you take a look at it yourself. So if we look at the whole biome here, we have this like whole front section, which is absolutely massive. That's everything else we've seen up until this point. And then if we come back here, once we cross the river here, that's when we are in the oasis. So this whole area here where it cuts off is Pride Rock. So this is the Pride Rock area where it kind of seals off the oasis, and then the waterfalls seal it off on this side. And yeah, so that whole area back there is the hidden oasis, and I just really, really love it. You know, it might be too busy for some people, and they're just like, I would hate that. I can't navigate it. But, you know, for me, when it comes to Dreamlight Valley, one of my favorite things to do is just create really interesting scenes and go wild with decor. And I honestly had so much fun making a hidden oasis with all these waterfalls, even though all of these waterfalls love to make my frames drop down to the ground. Anyway, now that we have checked out all of the little hidden secrets here in the Sunlit Plateau, it is now finally time for us to skedaddle down to one of my favorite biomes, which of course is going to be the Forgotten Lands. And of course, to get into the Forgotten Lands, I could go the other way, but we haven't seen Scar's little domain yet. So over here in the Elephant Graveyard, you know, of course, we still have Scar's home here. We have a lot of these like bony rocks, and we have, you know, pretty much all the plant life I put in here is dead. And, you know, that's kind of the vibe that it should be, I feel. You know, it's a graveyard. It reeks of death, and Scar is a villain, so I'm sure he feels just right at home here. Now, moving on to the Forgotten Lands biome, this is just something I have been super, super happy about since we put it together. Look at that dark castle there. It's so cool looking with all of the dead trees behind it. I love this build. I love that you can see the treehouse out behind it. And I also love that you have all of those dead trees, just this huge dead forest right behind it. The reason I didn't put any trees in the front section here is I don't want anything obstructing the view of the castle and what is beyond it. I want this to be the focal point of the whole biome. And I did put some lights here, and over here, you also enter from the wishing well. That way, even if you teleport in, you're still going to get this awesome view when you come into the biome. Over here, I did it a little bit differently. The whole biome is dark, dreary, and overcome with dark magic, except for two little spots. One of them being the wishing well. The wishing wells I like to imagine put off like good magic. And then back here, we have our little flower bed. Once again, you know, you already know the drill there. I've definitely mentioned that several times. Now, coming down this way, you know what? I need to put some reeds and some lily pads in that pond. We'll do that later. Anyway, coming down this way, we have a little rest area. If you haven't played with these benches from Update 5, they are amazing. Look at all these little magic sparkles popping off of them. They are super fun. I highly recommend using them. I love them in the Forgotten Lands. And then over here, we have the Forgotten Lands pillar with the thorns wrapping around it. It just looks so awesome in front of the dark castle, so I absolutely had to have it here, especially in like a little rest area, you know? Like even the rest area is evil here. I'm sure you've also noticed notice there's a lot of little glowing, whimsical pets. I actually have 2 pet houses. They're kind of hidden. These ones are behind a bush and a tree, and I have the Whimsical Companion Pack 1 and the Whimsical Companion Pack 2. The reason I use the Whimsical Companion Packs for this build is they look kind of like spirits or ghosts. I wanted to kind of give the vibe that the animals are all gone from this dark forest and only their spirits remain, and that's why I used the whimsical ones, because they look very ethereal. They look like they're ghosts or spirits. And I'm really excited about doing the interior of the Nightmare Castle or the Dark Castle. I can't wait to actually get into that. I haven't done that yet. Now, for the front yard, you'll notice we have this very menacing fence, just like we had in the graveyard here, and we have a lot of Well of Souls. The Well of Souls just complements this build so much. Like I said, I abuse these things. I love these things. I use them all over the place, but yeah, this is one of my favorite places to put them in the Forgotten Lands. It looks awesome. Now that you've seen this whole area out in front of the Forgotten Lands, let's run on back behind there and just check out the forest that we have. I definitely want to add more to this sometime down the road, and ooh, Darkwood, don't mind if I do. So the treehouse. I love the treehouse just being tucked away right behind the castle, because you can see it when you're coming from this angle. You can see it glowing back there. It looks so menacing, even though it's actually a really good thing. But yeah, it looks so menacing back there. And also the overgrown pillars are awesome. The purple lights peering through the pillars are great. Now the path here doesn't necessarily go straight, and here's the path that goes back to the Sunlit Plateau. We're not going to take that way right now. We're just going to keep on moving this way. So the path I have going through the dark forest, it winds and twists and turns. It is not a go straight to your destination type path, and I didn't want it to be. I want it to be a path that twisted and turned through a dark and mysterious forest. That was kind of the vibe I went for. There are still some Well of Souls scattered throughout, and the path is lined with these low-lit green beach torches, just because, once again, I love to use green when it comes to dark magic or darker areas like my graveyard and builds like that. So the green is definitely something I wanted to play on. Even the goofy stall in this biome is a little bit ominous. We have the jack-o'-lanterns here. We have more of the green torches, and yeah, it's also surrounded by the fence. So hidden away back here in the forest, Goofy can do a little bit of side work.
I'm a murderer.
We all know you're guilty.
Guilty.
And then coming down here, we'll come into... Remember at the beginning of this biome, I told you guys there were 2 areas that had some light magic. One was the Wishing Well, and the other area that has some good light magic is the Pumpkin House, because you have Fairy Godmother here. I have one lonely little flower here, and it's to kind of symbolize that life is here, life finds a way. And another fun fact with this little area is if we zoom out, you'll notice that there are more living trees in this part of the biome than anywhere else. I made sure to include a lot of living trees around the pumpkin house, just to kind of symbolize that not everything was being drained by dark magic in this little part of the biome. We also have the beautiful pumpkin carriage here and this cute little pumpkin cart thing that we got from Fairy Godmother. She gave us some really cool stuff, man. Anyway, we're going to keep on coming back around the path. We're just going to follow the path all the way back to the entrance here. The forest is still alive and well dead and well on the right-hand side here. And yeah, it just wraps right back around, and then we are right back in front of the Dark Castle. And there you have it. That's all the biomes. That's every single one of them. And with that, we have reached the end of the tour. Thank you so much for watching today's video. This particular video has been a project months in the making, so I really hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to hit that like button if you appreciated today's video, and consider subscribing for more Disney Dreamlight Valley and gaming content. I stream Disney Dreamlight Valley Monday through Friday on my Twitch channel. I'll leave the link below in the video description. You are always welcome to come by, ask questions, or just lurk and watch the Valley evolve. As a small full-time content creator, I put my heart into every video, project, and stream. If you'd like to support this journey of mine, consider becoming a channel member and receive special exclusive benefits. If you don't have the means to become a channel member, or simply don't want to, no worries. You can always support my content simply by watching my videos and my live streams. As always, thank you so much for your time today, and good luck decorating your valley.